What's going on, you guys? Someone commented on one of my other videos about running bread routes that they were thinking about either buying a bread route or trying to get on with a Pepsi route. And a lot of times whenever I see people compare these sorts of things, they're kind of not seeing the full picture. And I think this video is going to help you be able to see and compare these sorts of opportunities. So first off, Pepsi routes, they're not for sale. You're an employee, you have to apply for it, you have to cross your fingers, they never respond. You know how the W-2 game is. It sucks. And so that's a Pepsi route. Now we're going to pretend that we suddenly got a job offer with Pepsi and they were going to offer $70,000 a year in terms of the wage. Now, in the bread route world, $70,000 is pretty average. Now, you can get more in a bread route. Now, granted, you can get less. I'm sure there's someone in the comments that wants to tell me about how much less it was in 70, but you can get more. I've seen it happen. Happens all the time. And so when people compare these two things, all you're really looking at is the money. Well, 70K over here, 70K over here. Which one's better? Well, they're the same. I'm doing the same kind of work. Not quite. Now, sometimes people will think the differences is, what am I delivering? Well, delivering liquids like Pepsi is harder than a Snyder's route where you're delivering lightweight stuff. And that's true. But the most important thing that I think is missing from this equation is your time. And so if you have a bread route, it's not like you can just put an employee in place and then kick back, do nothing. I've got all sorts of rants about not being absentee. My point is that you can oftentimes get some people to help you. So let's say the Pepsi route takes 50 hours a week. Well, you're stuck. You're an hourly wage employee or salaried. You're going to get your 70K. Doesn't matter how long it takes you, 70K. In the bread route world, if you hire someone to help you out and it takes your work week from 50 hours a week to 25 hours a week, that's kind of awesome. I wouldn't look at it and say, oh, well, Pepsi pays $5,000 more, so that's better. Well, wait a minute. What if I get a bread route that makes 70K a year? I hire someone to just help me out, pay them 30K a year just for a little bit of part-time help or whatever. I'm still left with 40. Now I've got a good quality of life. I've still got a decent amount of money, whatever it may be. Now I know everybody's going to have differing opinions on whether you can make 70K on a bread route or whether 40K left over is worth it for you, whatever. That's not my point. I'm not telling you how much money you need to have. What I am telling you is with a bread route, you have flexibility. Now, I'm not even talking about all the other aspects of bread routes like getting one that nets over $100,000 or trying to flip routes or trying to get multiple routes. We're not even talking about those things. We're only talking about one route and essentially at that 70K, why it doesn't quite compare with the Pepsi route. So my point is that whenever you look at a bread route, don't just look at the net income and call it a day. Look at the other aspects too. What will this look like in terms of my quality of life? What will it look like in terms of the hours that I'm working? And then you can say, hey, wait a minute. I don't care about trying to have a good work-life balance. I want to work all the time. I don't want to have any risk. I don't want to put out any money onto a business. I'm just going to get a Pepsi route. Great. Then that's the path you should absolutely go. But if you're like, I do care about my work-life balance and so on, hey, start to look at the bread route. So anyway, just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind in terms of whenever you're comparing a job to a bread route, that, hey, maybe it's not just about the money. Maybe we can look at the quality of life and those sorts of things and go from there. Anyway, hopefully this gives you a little bit extra perspective. Like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.